It totally killed my motivation, my confidence.
The med school admissions process has been incredibly long and emotionally draining, and it's because, well, I'll show you. So when you're in college, you decide to go to medical school to become a doctor, and you spend thousands of hours working, studying, volunteering, doing research, leading clubs, and more just to be considered good enough to get in. You spend months crafting an applicant narrative through a ton of essays and apply to schools in May. About a month later, you start hearing back, not about getting in, but because they want you to write more essays and send them more money. So you do that and wait a few more months to receive interview invites. If you're lucky enough to interview, you sometimes wait several months before hearing back. Like I interviewed with Harvard in the fall, and I won't hear back from them until March. And because the process includes so much waiting and they're not reaching out to you and you don't know what's going on, it's hard not to ask yourself, am I good enough? Am I interesting enough? Are my grades okay? Are my scores high enough? Do I really have what it takes? And all you can do is sit back and say, well, I hope I do. I hope they like me. I hope I'm good enough. But then you think, well, what if they don't? What if I'm not good enough? There's so many people better than me. There's no way I can get in. And this launches you into a state of hopelessness, anxiety, and self-doubt. I've thought these things often, and it's made the waiting period really hard. It totally killed my motivation, my confidence. I felt completely dead emotionally. But one day I read a quote that totally changed my perception. Lewis Howes had tweeted it, and it said, "Stop waiting for Friday, for summer, for someone to fall in love with you, for life. Happiness is achieved when you stop waiting for it and make the most of the moment that you are in now." This really hit me. I realized that my happiness was being dictated by some future event that I couldn't control, while I had so much to be grateful for and so much to be happy about in the present moment. I started to change because of this. I started to work out again. I started to feel better. I started to enjoy time with my wife and my son. I was more present. I was less stressed about the whole medical school admissions thing. I was definitely happier, and life became a little bit brighter for me. I realized that I could always define my life by waiting for the next thing, getting to the next step, or making the next accomplishment in my life. But ultimately that it's much more important to appreciate the process of getting there. If you're like I was and feeling worried about what's going on next in your life, take the advice Lewis shared. Stop waiting and start living, because the journey is often just as good as the destination.